So, have you seen or heard of the show Adolescence?
I've heard of it, but unfortunately I haven't seen it.
Like our friend group's talking about it, yeah. Just because it's trending at the moment.
Have you seen anything about it on social media?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit, mainly clips online.
Yeah.
That's how I got into the show.
There's only one word to describe this series: brilliant.
I can't stop thinking about Adolescence. It is riveting, it is harrowing, it is just incredibly important.
It's trying to educate parents sort of what their kids can be into and cyberbullying and things like that.
My parents sent me a lot of stuff on it. I don't know why. But yeah, they said it was just a good show or something.
Yeah, a lot on TikTok as well. Many edits that people will make. It's, a lot of different people. And when I hear that someone hasn't watched it, I'm really surprised because it's pretty popular.
Adolescence is a pretty confronting Netflix miniseries that's been watched more than 124 million times.
He's a good kid. Jamie, I want you to listen carefully.
What's going on? Adolescence is exploring the story of Jamie, a 13-year-old that kills his classmate, Katie. And it explores, I guess, the normalisation of cultural misogyny, and it's a warning, I think, about a feeling of entitlement and an inability to handle rejection.
And it specifically looks at the impact on the child and what happens for him, his friends at school, on his family, and also how the investigation unfolds. And unlike other crimes, it's looking at what sits behind, the actions and the series of events.
In the media, Adolescence has been praised for giving adults an insight into the world of young people and for being a conversation starter about online misogyny and the influencers who spread hateful content about women. And have your parents mentioned it to you?
Yeah, they've seen it. My mum started saying stuff and about the show, and I can kind of see where she's coming from, but I feel like the parents think about it a lot deeper than it actually is, and they take every meaning, every small thing in the show to heart.
The reaction that young people are having is that they're not flocking to it to watch it necessarily.
So let's kick in.
Tom and his team at Tomorrow Man run workshops with young people, which focus on breaking down harmful gender stereotypes.
That's kind of something that we should pay attention to. Why is it so shocking for adults to be hearing and seeing this, and yet young people are kind of going, yeah, that's the world that I'm kind of in, and they're the kind of themes that are going on, and obviously being impacted by them.
They have the right idea, putting it as a show, I reckon. They've got the right idea, they've gone the right thing at heart, but it's boring. I watched 2 minutes of it from a reel my parents sent me. I was like, no, it's not for me.
It's been viral, but who's it viral amongst? And I think it's been viral amongst adults. I think it's shocked adults.
Did you kill her, Jamie?
No.
Last week, even the PM chimed in, suggesting that it should be shown in schools to help educate teens about the rise of misogyny and gendered violence.
I don't know if you've seen Adolescence. I encourage anyone to have a look at it. It's scary. It's scary. These parents depicted not knowing what their young son, who they love, has engaged in. But I would encourage schools to show it. Absolutely I would. So important.
This also comes after the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, said his government will provide funding for schools in the UK to show the miniseries in class. While parents and educators might have learnt a lot from this show, what does it actually teach young people? And should it be used as an educational tool in schools?
One of the things that's really important to remember is this was a series made by Netflix to entertain adults. It wasn't a documentary series, it's not a learning series, it's not a teaching series. So there's a real danger in asking our schools to take on responsibilities that they shouldn't have to be.
Not as a standalone educational tool, no, I don't think it should be shown.
It's a pretty confusing time, more than ever now, to be a bloke.
I think it should inspire education. I think taking the show as it is and watching all 4 episodes of it is a clumsy move and could be a dangerous one, to be honest. If teachers are showing this within classrooms and they're not being equipped to understand the depth of the themes or the vicarious trauma that could be caused within the room.
I mean, I don't really think it should be shown in schools because it's like not really too accurate, I don't think, because I don't see many of that stuff happening in schools over here.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Just because it's very like educational, like it shows like how it is really, like it's like real life, like it happens.
I feel like there's an age that you should be showing that. I guess a lot of younger kids would be quite disturbed by it. It is quite a confronting film, like series.
Showing Adolescence to kids in high school, teenagers in high school, it's actually beneficial because we can listen and they can tell us everything, but showing is different. Visualising it, actually seeing the impacts and the violence and all of that.
I don't think necessarily learning them from movies or TV shows, but I think we should definitely be learning these things like we learn about other stuff like consent and other stuff, because it's quite important.
Experts say the themes of this show can be difficult to talk about, whether it's between teachers and students, parents and kids, or even between different genders and ages.
Us parents did not grow up in the digital age that you grow up in. So we don't understand always what's happening for you, but we really want to be there for you. So if you can't have those conversations with your parents, find someone else, find an adult that you can connect with, because nothing is so bad that you can't talk about it.
We need to, as adults, take a lot more initiative to understand the worlds of young people. There's a generational gap that we need to bridge. There's also an empathy gap between the genders. And so we need to bridge the gender divide. What is happening at the moment, the gender divide, the disconnect between each other, it's going to have more really poor outcomes that I think we're all going to shed tears over. And it's not going to go away because Adolescence or the latest news piece falls out of the cycle.
I'm not saying to the males, you do this, you do that. I think saying to like everyone as human, violence is not appropriate and that behaviour is not tolerated.
And I think it is really important that I guess it is taught early on that you are okay to talk and to have, I guess, a meaningful, like emotional kind of relationship with people around you, yeah.
If this story has raised any issues for you, please make sure you talk to someone about it.